Greetings, divine mirrors. Sacred, awakening, remembering, gods and goddesses, one and all. Thank you for showing up. Welcome to Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess, episode 21. We're almost at 5 months of consecutive Tuesdays. Very happy and proud. And this is a still relatively new community enrichment program, and where we talk and share song, and as we expand and evolve, I'm anticipating some other kinds of variety offerings. And in the meantime, I have been traveling. This is my second Tuesday broadcasting to you from Austin, Texas, and I will be heading back to San Diego tomorrow. And so whatever variations you may be experiencing in tuning in today are functions of being on the road and being in a makeshift situation. And I'm very grateful to my hosts for allowing me to have the privacy to be able to share with you. And it will be what it will be, because it is live and spontaneous and unrehearsed and unscripted. And so we are just trusting the perfection of the moment, which is actually our topic today, is perfection. And the various thoughts and feelings that we have around that concept, based on our beliefs, based on our programming, based on our experience, based on what other people say, and of course our own thoughts and feelings. So I invite you, if you are here live with me, to please give yourself permission to tune in and volunteer to step up and come on camera with me and share, because it is infinitely more interesting when we are dialoguing together, and much more stimulating as well. So I will get us started, and hopefully we will have some brave souls being willing to step up and join in on the conversation very soon. So what do I feel like starting with? I think that I'm feeling like starting with my song, Out of the Matrix, because that is what was on my mind just before showtime. So I'm gonna say some radical things to you, dears. Things I think it's time that you hear. Powers that be may object in the guise of serve and protect. They may see me as some kind of threat to their reign of control. Maybe I won't last too long, but at least I'll have left you this song. And the message contained in these words will awaken your soul, make you whole. Out of the matrix, into the mind, counter the clockwork, seek to unwind, find your true meaning, to human, master the game. See the illusion, laugh at the joke, clear the confusion. Time you awoke. Shape your own reality by choosing what you think. Deliberate, methodical, accept your cosmic link. Slip into the center of the core. Feel your own, claim your power, star. You are the one, the savior, the choice, creator, director, the viewer, the voice. Merge with the silence. Conquer your fear. Grasp what I'm saying. There's only one of us here. See the illusion, laugh at the joke, clear the confusion. Time you awoke. Shape your own reality by choosing what you think. Deliberate, methodical, accept your cosmic link. Slip into the center of the core. Feel your own connection, claim your power, start to soar. You are the one, the savior, the choice, creator, director, the viewer, the voice. Welcome, Juliana and Anna. Nice to have you here. Today's topic is perfection, and as always, I invite your participation if you feel so inspired. And it's an interesting subject because at least I have been programmed to believe that nobody is perfect. Hey, Leah, welcome. Nobody is perfect and nothing is perfect. And to aspire to perfection, one can waste an entire lifetime. Welcome, Denise. Nice to have you here. One can waste an entire lifetime. They say that it's better to be done than perfect and to keep putting things out. And and so consequently, there's so much that goes on the world stage that we view and judge as imperfect. And I would like to, as always, use the analogy of theater or film, the divine play, and all the characters on the world stage as players in this creation that has been conceived by this benevolent intelligence who has breathed life into all the characters and seems to have an endless series of scenarios to play out with all of us. And if, going back to my theatrical training in New York and in Hollywood, we go to the movies, we go to the theater, we read a book, we get caught up in the story, we get caught up in the drama, and characters are created with what we would describe as imperfections. And yet those characters, I dare say, are perfectly conceived with their imperfections. And that is what gives them depth and nuance, is all the varieties of colors and ways in which we have our traits that make us more gregarious, more outspoken, more shy, more sinister, more kind-hearted, whatever our physical challenges might be, whatever our relational challenges might be, whatever time in history our character may be born, whatever is going on in the situation of the world and in their part of the world where they are residing. And these are the colors and textures that make a script, a story, interesting and intriguing to us. So why, when it comes to our lives, do we see these characters and these circumstances as imperfect? Leah is speaking. This is really important. Even the folks that we might have anger with are also imperfect. Well, okay, so there's two different ways, and I think that this is what is the word? A paradox, is that I am going to assert in this conversation that there is perfection in what we perceive as imperfection. So if we can hold that in our awareness, then ultimately there may actually be nothing to rail against. There may be nothing for us to take exception to if everything is part of the play. Okay, so would you like to come on and chat with me, Leah? You are welcome. Anybody is welcome. Again, it makes it infinitely more juicy if we're in a dialogue than if I'm just doing all the talking, and I absolutely wholeheartedly welcome you. So, and I'm suggesting this because there is an expression that it is our resistance to what is that causes us pain. You're saying yes? You want to come on? Okay, let's invite you on. It is our resistance to what is that causes us pain. Okay, here we go.
Hi, there you are,
Hello
Tess.
there.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
I'm in beautiful La Jolla with a wonderful friend of mine, Denise. She's going to be off camera for this. But,
okay, welcome to both of you.
Hello.
Hi, Denise.
Hi.
At least I can hear you.
There I am.
Oh, yay. Nice to see you.
Nice haircut.
This is a haircut, which she's very proud of, and she looks very
good.
Yay.
Yes, very nice haircut. Did you get color too, or is it just the cut?
No, that's my
Oh, natural. Oh, natural.
Color is very nice.
Well, this is
very
the first
nice.
time getting to hear you, and I think this is a great introduction.
Yeah.
Hopping right on in.
Yes, I really enjoyed your song.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yay.
And we've been talking a lot about self-realization, so this is a cool topic, about perfection and self-realization too.
Yeah, because
Closer.
it's like, what is that with that beautiful Asian art form that pours gold into cracks in ceramics and porcelain. So is the item then imperfect, or is it still perfect, or even more perfect than when it started? So if we cultivate a relationship with this realm that we live in, that is a living conscious intelligence, and we decide that everything is always in divine order or always in divine disorder, no matter what we are seeing on the world stage, then we can actually relax into a relationship of trust with the unfolding that takes all the contraction out, takes all the stress, takes all the strain, takes all the fear out of it, and we just roll with the wave. It's like if you're a surfer and you're riding the waves, it's like you can't tense up against the wave. You have to roll with it if you're gonna want to avoid a wipeout. And even the wipeout is part of the perfection of the unfolding of the story of that particular character. Right. So it's like, I remember when I read the book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Did you read that book back in the day?
Oh, I haven't read it. Daniel Millman, right? Daniel.
Yes, Millman. Yes. And there's the story of the father who the army is coming to take his son to the war, and it was like this good luck bad luck situation because his son had broken his leg, and then that was like bad luck. But then when the army came to take him, it was good luck because he got to keep him home. So it's like, if we can step back and take the God view, which is the view of the author, writer, producer of the divine play, as opposed to the suffering of the character that may be happening, and we can sort of relax into that position of seeing the all is wellness no matter what is going on, we can actually potentially move through the circumstance with a lot more grace and peace than we would if we're like fretting and stressing and, oh my God, this shouldn't be happening and this is wrong and why is this? And it's like that surrender, that level of surrender, which is not a passive thing. It is an active conscious choice to go, you know what? I don't understand from my limited perspective. I will never understand what is going on here. But if I believe that there is an overarching intelligence that's making the sun rise and set and the seasons change and causing all the different types of birth to be happening on a daily basis, whether it's human or vegetation or animal, then I can actually ride the waves and coast and not suffer. And that is the invitation that I am putting out today.
I just say too, in response to that, because Tess is away right now, but we've been talking and conversing a little, and something had happened just maybe a week ago, and I felt really left out. It was an event. Tess and I were talking about it. And, the first day I felt very suffering. Why wasn't I invited? I'm not in the scope of these people. And then a day goes by and I start really looking at this and I'm like, maybe I just wasn't supposed to be there. Like, I wasn't supposed to be at that event, obviously, or I would have been invited. Do you know what I mean? So it's like really nice. And I got to just surrender back into just being Leah. I get to have my own life. I can do whatever I want, be with certain people or not. It felt great. I mean, talking with you that day after helped a lot, but it also was good, the way I reflected it later for myself.
Yeah, because it's really comes down to the meaning that we're making out of the thing. And it's like the post that I put up that you liked when I said, you can't miss your boat. If you miss the boat, then it wasn't your boat. So the same thing holds true if there's an invitation out there and you're not invited. It's because there's something else for you that is more in alignment than this thing that our wounded children are like kids with our nose pressed up against the candy store window, and we see something shiny happening someplace and we start making up a story about not being worthy, not being seen, not being loved, all this monkey mind stuff that we do. And ultimately, it's like we're all on our own track. And so just because we can see what's happening over there doesn't mean that we're a vibrational match to what's happening over there. And if we push our way into that situation, we may end up not having a very good time at all anyway. So why bother? Why bother trying to force ourselves into things if it's not in a graceful flow where it's just happening organically?
Thank you. Yeah, it's really wise and good advice. Totally.
Yay. Yay.
Fun.
Thank you.
Like live coaching. But it's everything. I love it. Doing great, Tess.
Thanks, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Denise. I look forward to
meeting in person.
Yeah, she's going away too, but she'll be back in the new year and we'll get together for sure.
Sounds great. Okay. Anything else?
Let's see. Anything else? I'm actually really happy today. And
yay.
And yeah, no, I'm just enjoying all of it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I saw one of my cousins join in from Betty Latimer. Who, yeah, I don't know if Betty's on, but hi, Betty. If you can hear this, this is my friend Tess, who's just wonderful and wise.
Thank you.
We're all full.
Hi, Betty.
So
we are, and we're all perfect. We are all perfectly drawn characters, each and every one of us.
Exactly.
Right? If we really put ourselves in the actor's mind, and like an actor reads a script and they see this character and it's like, wow, this is a really juicy role for me to get to sink my teeth into, right? No matter what the character has going on with it, whether it's a lisp or a limp or a or whatever it might be, it's like, oh, I get to play with this. And so for me, it's like I'm really starting to put this into practice a lot now, to where if I find myself in an experience that is challenging me, I start moving into that actor/writer mind what would my character do right now?
Right.
And so there's like a love and affection for the character rather than a frustration,
What's a good
you know?
example of that? Can you remember one that you went through personally that you could share?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, I probably could if I just sat here and thought about it a minute, but I don't want to like take
Yeah.
the time to do
Because
that.
then
But
we ask ourselves, who's witnessing this? Like, who is witnessing, who's creating this idea of the acting and the, the theater and stuff,
right, exactly. So we're all of it. We are the audience. We are the writer, director, producer, and
Yeah.
star of our own life show, right? And casting ourselves as the lead on our hero or heroine's journey, as opposed to some bit player, off on the side being ignored. It's like, what is the development of this character? Where is the breakthrough for this character? When does this character move from disempowered to empowered? Like, what is that defining moment? And I'm asserting that we actually can choose it by claiming it. Instead of being in that suffering victim place, we can go, oh, this is my character's journey, and this is the moment that I get to use my I am power and declare everything that led me till this moment perfect, and that I am perfect, and I have nothing to apologize for, even in my, perceived imperfections of, not being good at this or not being good at that, which is only a story, right? It's only a
Yeah.
story.
And it's interesting. I'll just say, I'm going to give my brother a little shout out, a little prop right now, because we've been having these discussions around trauma, and
Okay.
he came up with a brilliant analogy. He said that trauma for him is nothing to get through or even heal. It's like a fossil from the past. It's like this fossil. It's a dinosaur fossil. It's happened. It isn't going to change anytime soon. But you yourself can choose other thoughts and go on like a victim vacation, is what he calls it.
Yes.
It's
Uh-huh.
been
Uh-huh.
one day at a time, choosing thoughts that make you happy, memories that make you happy, joyful events, joyful things you want to do. Do you know what I mean? The fossil's always going to be there. This is his theory, right? But it doesn't have to run you. It doesn't have to run.
Well, and yet it helps to shape us, right? So it's like, it's kind of like if somebody puts up a fence and they have a sapling and the fence is in the way of the direction that a branch is going to grow, the branch is going to grow in a different direction and it's going to become a different shaped tree than it might have otherwise had that not been there. Is there something wrong with that tree? Is it an imperfect tree
True. It's
because not
different shape.
no,
So.
it's just a different shape, right? And it doesn't have the self-judgment that we do to lament about it, right? And so there's no problem there. Only we look at those fossils and we say, if it wasn't for that fossil, I would be over here right now, instead of this fossil contributed to the perfection of the journey that I actually am on. And isn't that wonderful?
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Yep. I like that a lot. And it ties in with what we were saying before about how I wasn't supposed to be at that event. It's the same thing. I
exactly.
wasn't supposed to
Yeah,
go that direction. I went this way. And
right.
now, what do we do at this moment?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you. Gosh, I could
You're
keep going,
welcome.
but I know there's other people on this call and I know
Okay.
I'd like to be seen. So sending you
Okay.
lots of love. See you back when you're
Mwah.
here physically this weekend.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to it. Blessings. Bye bye.
Bye.
So
Until she
it's
exits.
it's a group chat.
Remove. Okay, and I think there's somebody. Oh, no. Put that out. Okay. Okay, so that was very sweet. Since then, we have had Bella join us and Lori Crystal. Welcome. We are having a chat on the concept of perfection. And what I have been saying is that I know that in our culture, we tend to make the statements that nobody is perfect and nothing is perfect, and in our striving for perfection, we may be missing out on a lot of opportunities that if we just allow ourselves to be that quote unquote imperfect and put things out in the world, we would be potentially having a more rewarding experience. And I'm putting out the idea that We actually are perfect in the nuances of the characters that we have created to be, which are more interesting and intriguing because of these affectations and afflictions and neuroses and allergies and all the various things that our characters have been crafted with meticulous attention to have. And instead of us viewing ourselves as wrong, and instead of us viewing the circumstances being played out on the world stage as wrong, actually declaring them us all perfect. And in that declaration, we can find our peace, we can find our relaxation, we can find our trust, because all the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. So if we can really adopt this point of view, then the play that we're in is perfect, and the character as written is perfect, and we can actually enjoy our experience so much more than when we are sitting and we're judging our circumstances and we're judging the circumstances taking place in the world. And so this is my theory that I'm playing with and offering up to you, and I would love to hear what you feel about it. So I welcome any of you who wish to come on and chat with me, and what's your take on the concept of perfection? Because as I sit here and I contemplate each of you that I happen to know on this call, I can see the perfection in each of you, in each of your unique, one-of-a-kind original characters. You are all like facets of a diamond, each and every one of you, so interesting and so complex, and your journeys have been so different from one another. So there is no comparison between any of you. It's like you are each perfect in your own right. So any self-perception of imperfection, I assert, is a programmed judgment that is based on some kind of a comparison that really is irrelevant. You are not like anyone else, and no one else is like you. And every soul is on their own journey. So who are we to say that anything that we are experiencing or witnessing is imperfect? If we trust that there is an overarching intelligence that is animating this entire dimension and that is orchestrating every action, every exchange that is taking place here, how can any of it be wrong? How can any of it be less than what it is intended to be in the evolution of our characters, in the evolution of our species, in the evolution of this story that is our life journey as a collective? So that's what I'm thinking about, that's what I'm playing with, and that's what I'm throwing out there for your perspective. So please come on and chat with me. I welcome you. Like the sections of an orchestra, we are woodwind, brass, and string. Together we make music, together may we sing. Our voices blend in harmony, our heartbeats keeping time. And the sound we make is beautiful, all part of God's design. The world is just an orchestra, each instrument unique. No matter where we came from or language that we speak, each has their separate line to play, a necessary role, and the tones we had so naturally contribute to the whole. If we could hear the orchestra and recognize our parts, we'd honor our sweet maestro and play with all our hearts. Mm-hmm. 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 I declare you perfect. No matter who you are, no matter what your character is going through. As long as you are here, as long as you exist, you are worthy of the miracle, the blessing, the privilege of getting to exist. Regardless what your challenges are, you are wanted here. You have value. Your life is intended. You are intended. I invite you to allow yourself to really breathe this in and choose to accept the truth of it. These are the kind of thoughts that I refer to as spiritual logic. If you were not wanted here, you would not be here. Therefore, your existence is perfect. Your role is perfect. You are blessed. You are magic. You are wanted. You are intrinsic to the unfolding of this story. This story of the existence of an awakening humanity. Right here and right now. And the more of us that can accept the perfection of our existence and can trust in a master plan, a master design that is unfolding, the less resistance there will be and the more grace we will experience individually and collectively. The great writer, Somerset Maugham, had this quote that I have known probably since my early 20s, and I think about it almost every day. He said, "It is a funny thing about life. If you refuse to accept anything but the best, you very often get it." And I assert that if we decide that each moment and each breath is perfect and is the best yet, then we put ourselves in a vibrational field where we attract more and more circumstances that feel like the perfection that we imagine in the core of our being that we long for. And that perfection lives inside of us, and it requires us to align with it, to connect with it, to trust it, and to make it more real to us than anything that we see on the outside, because we trust our source so implicitly that we know that we are being led. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. I am walking with my source. I am walking with my source in this dream, in this miraculous dream world that my programming and my pace has caused me to take for granted. The invitation is always on the table from me to step into the divine realm, to remember ourselves as divine beings, to be rooted in our divinity. And as we feel ourselves rooted in our divinity, we can trust the perfection of the unfolding of this play that is leading us towards our awakening. Persida and Anna have joined us. Welcome. Good to see you. Our topic today is perfection. And in order to see it, and in order to align with it, it requires a level of trust and willingness to align with the intelligence that animates us and animates all that is, and to humbly surrender to its wisdom and its will, so that we are harmonious with the world that we are living in, rather than living in resistance to it. It is our resistance to what is that causes us pain. Our pointing at life and calling it wrong exacerbates our pain. It's challenging because we have cultivated such strong egos as a means of survival. And those egos hold us separate from the world that we are witnessing. And as long as we make life wrong, we will suffer. So, as counterintuitive as it may feel, when we see things on the world stage that are profoundly painful and troubling to us, I am asking and inviting us to surrender to the perfection. Because, as it is said, God, or Source, or Great Spirit, or whatever your tradition has you feel comfortable calling us, calling it, calling us, um, works in mysterious ways. Ways we cannot understand from our limited perspectives in these physical embodiments. But what we can do is decide to trust it. That intelligence that breathed life into us, that breathed life into all that is playing out stories in this dimension. And we can either be in resistance or we can be in acceptance. And I assert that our acceptance will cause us to experience more grace. It is our resistance to what is that causes us pain. So the more that we can see the perfection, the more that we can declare the perfection, the more we will experience perfection. It's a matter of choosing, and it's a matter of alignment. What does it feel like? And what do you want to feel like? See, it's easy to get caught up in circumstances and want to blame our circumstances for the way that we feel. But when we get alone and we get in our own energy, and if we're willing to do the work of paying attention to our predominant habits of thought. So here's an example. Last night I watched the film that I've been hearing about for a week or so now on Netflix called Leave the World Behind. It's with Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke, and Obama's production company is one of the main producers of this film. And it is said that the dark side, the quote unquote cabal, is obliged to show their hand before they commit acts of atrocity in the world, and it's humanity's. We've brought it upon ourselves if we don't take the warnings seriously, and we just think that it's entertainment, and we don't prepare based on what we've seen. That's kind of a side comment. So the point here is that the circumstances in this film are very dire, and this young woman says to Julia Roberts' character, "Why are you so angry all the time? You're angry all the time." And so Julia Roberts' character, owns it, and she acknowledges it and softens in the face of that direct confrontation. But it stayed with me this all the time because most of us are stuck in a habitual psycho-emotional way of being that is running in the background of all of our experiences that we don't even realize is running. And so it was like, wow, I can look at myself and look at what, and when I studied acting in Los Angeles, the acting teacher at the time would call that a hold it line, like this mantra that's just running in the background that is dictating the way that your relationships are or your experiences are going. And so I was like, okay, well, if I look at myself and I don't want being angry all the time, like Julia Roberts' character, to be the truth of my experience, what do I want my hold it line to be? What do I want that background mantra that is coloring and affecting all my exchanges and experiences to be? And I wrote down, I am grateful and trusting all the time. That's my choice. That's my commitment. That's my decision. That's who I am choosing, intending, and aspiring to be. One who is grateful and trusting all the time. No matter what. No matter what I see, no matter what I experience, the bottom line fact that means anything to me is that I exist. I am grateful that I exist. I'm grateful that I get to be here and breathe and see and hear and touch and taste and smell and walk and talk. So rather than being like a yo-yo with my emotions going up and down and being triggered by circumstances that can like rock my world and take me, from on this roller coaster ride, I am consciously choosing as of yesterday, as of last night, to claim this as my new hold it line. I am grateful and trusting all the time. And it's going to be a practice. I'm not here right now saying to you that I will have mastered this in 5 minutes. But it's the new muscle that I am choosing to build and cultivate because it's what I want. I want to be trusting and grateful of my life, of my source, of my creator, of all my experiences, all the experiences that are happening on the world stage, no matter what. I don't want to live my life suffering and in fear. Wishing I wasn't here. That's not what I want. You know the story about the two wolves, the Native American story, and there's the little boy is asking his grandfather. His grandfather says there are two wolves, and one of them is dark and angry, and the other one is light. and they're in a battle with each other, and the little boy says, "Grandpa, which one wins?" And the grandfather says, "Whichever one you feed." Our whole battle is within us. Everything that we see on the world stage is an outpicturing of the conflict and the confusion existing inside of us, of not understanding where we came from, why we're here, whether we deserve to be here or not. Who are we to be granted the miracle of life? Are we living our lives in such a way that we are worthy of this gift that we have been given, and we're judging ourselves and we're hard on ourselves, and so we're tormented, and we're programmed to believe that we have to earn our right to be here, and through our money and all this kind of stuff, and our careers and our contribution and all that, and it's this giant, mind, and we suffer. But I do believe we have the power and the opportunity, if we choose it, to get hold of our monkey minds and stop suffering by choosing to feed ourselves with good brain food that is nourishing us and nurturing us and strengthening us to where we build a mind that is so strong it does not allow space for those undermining thoughts to disempower us and torture us. So like an actor in a play, learning our lines, writing our intentions, writing our motivations, rather than being angry all the time, rather than being scared all the time, unconsciously having those things running our experience. How about choosing, I am grateful and I am trusting all the time, no matter what. I claim the perfection in all that I see and all that exists in my experience. The only experience I have any control over. Because I don't even know whether any of you exist outside of my consciousness. So if I see something wrong, or I see you wrong, I am making life wrong. I am making God wrong. I am making you wrong. I'm making me wrong. And what is that serving? Except to make myself miserable. We can change the lens. If we don't like what we see on the screen, we can adjust the lens. And see the imperfect as perfect. Because it's unique, it's original, it's one of a kind. There's nothing else like it, and so there's nothing to compare it to. Welcome Stu, welcome Jesse, welcome Fifi. Nice to see you here. This is an interactive dialogue. If anybody wants to come on and chat with me, you are welcome. I'm offering a different perspective on perfection. If we declare this the best life we've ever lived, if we declare this the best moment we have ever experienced, are we not putting ourselves in the best position possible to attract more? Which wolf do we want to feed? Everything is great. Everything is flowing. You are God, dear. Thanks for knowing. All is well on earth as it is in heaven. Everything is fine. All your dreams are growing. Bless the seeds that you've been sowing. All is well on earth as it is in heaven. Life is a dream come true. It's up to you to see. You are the master of your perfect destiny. Love is the formula that opens every door. Be who you want to be. It's what you came here for. Everything is fine. All the world is glowing. Time to rise. The rooster's crowing. All is well on earth as it is in heaven. All is well on earth as it is in heaven. All is well on earth as it is in heaven. You know, I've been drinking that coffee substitute, mushroom coffee substitute called Rise, R-Y-Z-E, for about, I don't know, 5-6 months now. And you order it from the company, and so they sent this card with a QR code inviting me to join their daily gratitude program, where every morning they send me a prompt by text. And so it's like to start my day writing something about gratitude. And some of the questions are really odd and curious. Perfect, of course, in their weirdness. But this morning, it asked me, what are you wrong about life? What am I wrong about life? And so I was thinking about that for a while, and you know, the question brings up a certain amount of pain, because if there's something and it's not immediately obvious to me, then it must be like impacting my life from the subconscious, right? So I'm sitting with the question, and because I believe that all the world's a stage, and we are the actor, writer, star, producer, and audience, it was like, okay, well, this is an empowering opportunity. So what if my character is choosing to take this moment and decide I am right about life. I am right about life. And if I am right about life, then I have the power and am going to declare that life is magical. Life is mystical. Life is a precious, sacred gift, and I am privileged to get to be here. And that my journey is actually perfect. Now, if you are listening to me and you are cynical, you might say that I am in denial. And I would then ask you, does it serve you to believe that life is not perfect and that you are living life wrong? Who is creating your reality? And what reality do you want to live in? Who gets to choose? These questions, if you want to take control and responsibility for your experience, require a willingness to detach from the frenetic pace of the world around you and sit in stillness and make finding acceptable answers to these questions for yourself the most important thing that you can do. To love, honor, and respect yourself enough to be willing to take the time to notice the thoughts that are running you. And if the thoughts that are running you are disturbing or troubling, to take the time to apply your own spiritual logic to reprogram yourself so that you become one who is in alignment with the most divine, the most grace-filled version of your character and your reason and purpose for incarnating in this dimension at this time. Allow your character to evolve. Allow your character to have a breakthrough. Allow your character to be an embodied source of peace and trust and faith and grace in this dimension. Our world is sorely lacking in faith because everybody's wounded egos are running the show. And if you allow yourself to be one who sees perfection and embody that, really feel it, really feel it to the core of your being, that there is a supreme intelligence. And the more of us that align with that supreme intelligence and trust that supreme intelligence, I assert the more we will see a version of perfection that resonates with our souls. In the midst of chaos, be the stillness. Be the calm in the storm. In your uniqueness, be the perfection that Source intended. Like the most beautiful sculpture, with all the uniqueness, all the intricate uniqueness that was conceived as part of your character. Not with arrogance, with humility, with gratitude and celebration that you get to be you here in this dimension. Be still and know that you are a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle, as is everyone and everything around you. Then you can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, because you are one with Source. Welcome to Voices of a Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess, episode 21. Today's topic is perfection. If you check out the description for this live stream, there's all sorts of different ways that you can participate and support this community enrichment endeavor. And if you are so inspired, even during the broadcast or after, I would appreciate it if you would share this on your pages and in your groups so that we can bring more people to the conversation. And if you would like to come on and chat with me, I would be honored and delighted to welcome you. Just indicate so in the chat, or at the bottom, if you're on your phone, the only way you can come in is through your phone, not unfortunately on a desktop or laptop. But on your phone, there should be a little icon at the bottom of a person with a little screen, and if you click on there, you can send me a message and let me know you'd like to come chat. Deep breath, everybody. And exhale. One more. Every moment we are choosing. Am I part of the peace? Am I contributing to the peace? Or am I contributing to the chaos? What do you choose? I contribute to the peace by being peace, by declaring perfection, by being the calm in the storm. And that doesn't mean that I can't sing and I can't dance and I can't laugh and I can't make love and I can't play and I can't be silly and I can't be goofy. It just means that at my core, I am calm because I trust the benevolent intelligence. Anybody have any thoughts or questions you want to pop into the chat? Y'all are so quiet. Embracing the perfection of what is. I'm happy to sit in presence with you. Are you willing to accept the perfection of you, the perfection of your unique character as your source intended? It is your resistance to what is that causes you pain. Can you see the beauty in your character? And accept it. And give thanks for it. And feel grateful and privileged to get to play you on this world stage. You get to play you. You are God's gift to life. And life is God's gift to you. And if you can accept it, if you can accept the gift, you can stop the suffering. And trust the journey. And if you can accept yourself, you can then accept everyone and everything else. Because everything that exists was intended. Judge not, lest ye be judged. We are in no position. And if we're going to judge, let us declare it all good, all divine, all sacred, all holy. Because it is our responsibility to be the peace we want to see. To be the grace. thoughts, questions. I welcome them. Choose. I love my relationship with life. What does it feel like? What do I want it to feel like? Take the time to find alignment so that you are moving through space in a way that feels good to you. I don't know about you, but I don't want to fight anymore. Not with anyone or anything. So I'm just going to surrender and trust and allow. Share with me if you agree with me. Share with me if you disagree with me. It's all welcome. Please feel free to private message me if I can support you in any way. If you resonate with my perspective. I put up a meme the other day. It said 3 different things, but one of them echoed with something that I've been saying for a long time, which is essentially that there is no quote-unquote success without inner peace. Seek ye first the kingdom within, and all this is added unto you. We cannot build an empire on a shaky foundation. Cultivating our inner peace and calm, our trust, our faith. Hi, Priscilla. Amen. Is our most important work, so that peace can emanate out and influence all of our actions, all of our interactions. To cultivate peace, we have to have faith. If we have faith, then we trust in the perfection of all that is. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. A peace that surpasseth understanding. It doesn't make sense when our eyes are on the chaos. I assert that it is our greatest medicine for ourselves and our contribution to the field around us, to embody that faith, that peace, that trust. If we have faith as small as a seed of mustard, we will be victorious. Amen. And if we have faith as small as a seed of a mustard, all of our attention need be focused there. And it is like the yogis do a mudra where they hold two fingers together. And if you close your eyes and you hold these two fingers together, you can feel a sense of stability, a sense of support, a sense of grounding, of being held. And it is the same thing as I have described many times about putting a certain portion of your awareness, feeling your buns and your seat, or feeling the soles of your feet touching the body of Mama Earth. When we connect into the physical, any part of our body with another part of our body, or anything else in the material world, material, the mater, the mother, we ground. We can calm ourselves. My rod and my staff comfort me. These are the tools we have, we were given to calm ourselves. To do this spiritual reality check in which we demonstrate to ourselves that we are not alone, we are not abandoned, we are intrinsically connected to the intelligence that animates us and animates all that is. It is not mundane. It is not to be taken for granted. It is sacred, it is holy, it is miraculous. Look through eyes filled with awe. Not through eyes jaded by cynicism. Return your awareness to your source. Thanks. All that you wish to create and experience here can happen. Don't worry about missing an experience. Give yourself time and permission to ground in your peace, in your connection to your source, in your awakening, your awareness of your own miraculousness. The gift that your life is to you and to all that is. Realize how sacred you are. Treat yourself as sacred. And then treat everyone and everything as sacred. Hold the vision of the highest possible alignment. There is a reason why we are here now. We are privileged and blessed. We are the ones we've been waiting for. The Messiah generation. The collective Christ consciousness awakening in everyone. Let us shine our lights collectively and build a bonfire so bright the darkness must recede. You've heard me say, some of you, one of my most favorite Abraham Hicks quotes is, "Stop telling God how big your problems are. Instead, tell your problems how big your God is." Can you see how just being one who is grateful and trusting is enough? It is God's great pleasure to give us the kingdom. You are such a blessing to all of us. Thank you, Priscilla. It takes one to recognize one. Love everything. Love your pain. Love your fear. Love your sorrow. You came here to experience what it's like to be human. The full range of emotion. Train yourself to be grateful for all of it. And in so doing, you will transmute it so much more quickly. Same with war, same with hate. See the perfection. We got about 20 minutes left. Anyone care to jump on and chat with me a bit? This program is called Voices of the Global Awakening. You are a valued character in a divine play. Your voice, your reflection, your perspective is important. It's wanted and it's needed. You can bring your shyness, you can bring your insecurity, you can bring all of it. And you can break the ice. You can give yourself permission to be seen and heard. And I will be offering a live workshop on that very thing. I think January 18th is what I'm looking at. So you can make a note in your calendar and be on the lookout for an invitation. As I myself permission, I am here to give you permission as well. We are all equal. No one more worthy than any other of being seen and heard. I would love to hear what it feels like for you to sit with me in so much quiet space, so much stillness, just being. If you would type it in the chat. What benefit are you getting out of connecting into this portal? There is value in being in sacred quiet. Can you say more? What does it feel like? Suspended animation. And that is a comforting feeling. Peace and calm. I invite you to take this peace and calm into your experience where you are beyond this live stream, to cultivate it and become the source of it in your own environments. Just because our world appears to be frenetic and chaotic doesn't mean we have to join it. We can intend to influence the field into a more calm, sane frequency that feels more nourishing to our souls. It feels like a lot of chaos and confusion and pain can dissolve here. we're peaceful, and still we can feel the palpable intelligence of this field in which we reside. And that field is the love, the prana, the life force that animates us. This field is medicine. What's the matter, honey? You don't want to have it all? What's the matter, honey? You're too old to have a ball. What's the matter, honey? Can't you stand to have your way? Everyone but you deserves to love and play today. Oh, what's the matter, honey? You don't like to share your things? What's the matter, honey? Can't you see what freedom brings? What's the matter, honey? Don't you feel how great this is? Everything that's mine is yours and theirs, and hers and his. God is here, never gone. Love is all. Pass it on. Oh, don't resist me, honey. I'm a gift from God to you. Don't resist me, honey. I was sent to awaken you. Don't resist me, honey. I'm the answer to your prayers. I have come to lead you home beyond your old nightmares. God is here, never gone. Love is all. Pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all. Pass it on. You gotta let me in now. If you wanna win, just look on past the skin and see. I'm the one you'd call for. I'm the one you'd fall for. Let me set your spirit free. Cross the floor to ecstasy. God is here, never gone. Love is all. Pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. You gotta pass it on. What does Priscilla say? We are one in unity. We are love, and together we find peace in this world that we physically live in, that is in such chaos. We are rooted. Yes, God is here, and we are surrounded by His love. Amen. A woman, so it is. All that is. Yes, indeed. Yes, my sister. Yes, this is why our love and our friendship has endured all these decades, because though our traditions are different and our journeys are different, the energy, the frequency of understanding and grateful bliss at the miracle of our own existence and this amazing faith in the source of our being we recognize in each other. And I am so grateful that you exist and that you are in my life and in my experience. And I extend that gratitude to each and every one of you that is here with me on this call and that will be tuning into this call in another now, whenever that moment may arise, because it's all always the eternal unfolding present, the gift that keeps on giving. Glory be, blessed be. Let's pay it forward, indeed. Let us do that. This is a beautiful field of love and gratitude that we have co-created. Let us be ambassadors of this frequency. Let us be ambassadors of this project. If you check in the description, you'll see one of my Facebook groups is called Rename the Planet, Planet Peace, because I have this little girl inspiration that if we just plant this thought form, this thought seed, even if people think it's silly and they think it's naive, the seed is planted and it's growing, and every step we take upon the body of the mother, instead of treading upon earth that we treat like dirt, that we are stepping upon the holy body of planet peace. And with every step, we are planting peace and affirming peace and declaring peace into the body of the mother, that this consciousness may spread like wildfire and grow and surround our planet with the love and intention of this sacred awareness of the privilege that we have been given to get to be here. Let us embody that awareness and have it emanate out from each of us, so that we may positively affect all whom we encounter to remember and join us in this field of gratitude, of knowing the perfection of our own being. And rejoice in sacred bliss. Together we are healing. Together we are remembering. Together we are awakening. So tomorrow I fly back to San Diego, and I look forward to tuning in with you again next Tuesday, which will be the 26th, the day after Christmas. and it will be episode number 22 and our last episode of the year 2023. So when we return after that, it will be January the 2nd. And now that I am complete with this 9-month training that I came to Austin to be at the completion retreat for, I am going to take a break from doing other people's workshops for a while so that I can invest more of my focus in perfecting my own projects, elevating them to more technologically appealing levels and doing live events and things. So I appreciate you so much for hanging in here with me and staying tuned for what will be coming up. I do look forward to getting to a greater level of sophistication with this offering and being able to start planning guests into the future that will interest you and inspire you. And as always, I encourage you to come on and talk to me. If you have any ideas about things that you might like to chat about, you can private message me and share that so we could plan it in advance if you're more comfortable doing that than popping on spontaneously. And we will continue to evolve our consciousness. As a friend used to say, evolution is a team sport. We are all in this together, and we all have a piece of the puzzle. So as much as I enjoy sharing my consciousness with you, I absolutely enjoy hearing yours and really encouraging you to step into the light and allow yourself to be seen and heard. So that is my ongoing invitation, and again, I'm available privately if you want to reach out, whether it is to share some ideas or if you could use some support. We can talk about ways in which I may be able to be a contribution to you offline, and that would be great too. So yeah, it's different when it's you or when it's somebody else. When it's somebody else, it's just so much easier to see what can be done in order to create breakthrough, because we're all looking for expansion and spaciousness versus contraction. And so that's what this is all about, is constantly creating more space for us to breathe and celebrate and experience ourselves as the unique divine vessels that each of us is and has incarnated to be. So more play, more laughter, more celebration, more co-creation, more, yes, and more, please. Gratitude and more. Mm-hmm. And in the words of Carol Burnett, I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Till next time, infinite blessings.